Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to, I don't know, give a little update as to what's going on with the boy over here. But first off, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody, man. Y'all came through in that first video. And I'm not trying to gush, but like that shit felt good. Thank you all. And it's all thanks to the community. You guys are a bunch of legends. So let me just get that all out the way. Y'all are. I'm going to just leave it at that. Y'all are great. To think that we could all different types of people across all different types of communities can come together and share a common dislike for this gentleman right here, which is so like, it's inspiring, but also like, oh my God, what are we doing here? What are we even doing here? I feel like we're having a great time. That's what y'all are making me smile. So let's just jump straight into it. I'm not trying to, this is going to be a short one. The last one was extremely long, but not like long like Steve of the Dead videos, who I absolutely, I'm not even saying it as a slight. I love Steve of the Dead 8-hour epic. So let me just gush a little bit more right there. So get well soon, man. I love hearing you on. That being said, I'm going to keep name dropping all of the favorites, all of the people that I gravitate to when it comes to consuming Phil content. So let's just jump right in. You see, based off of all the things that we have absorbed inside of the vortex as of late, this guy was having internet problems. Too long didn't read. This guy was having internet problems. He pays for a business class internet so he could have a redundancy, so what he says, and his other internet was okay or something like that. Again, unreliable narrator. There's a lot of different twists and turns to all of this, and I'm trying to not stray into the abstract because I'm trying to assume and work under the assumption that we've all been here before and that we know what we're talking about. And so this guy was going on and on and on about how he can't make money from his job, which is streaming apparently, because his internet wasn't working. However, he was streaming, telling us that he wasn't able to do his job. So there's a lot of different things at play. A lot of different people from a lot of different communities had a lot of different opinions about what was going on. And before I even go even farther, I wanted to have a little bedrock under here. So if this is too obnoxious, I'm going to figure it out when I watch this back, because I did have something going on in the background last time. I thought it was working, but I was mistaken. But I'm deaf, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, tangent, back to the boy. The reason why we're all here. So he was talking about shit that he had no idea, that he couldn't speak on this. He couldn't speak on cable internet matters because that's my jam. That was the company that I used to work for. And by the way, disclaimer, from here on to infinity, time is a flat circle. This is circling around to everything I said retro. I'm retrofitting this disclaimer as I'm speaking on this. This is all based off my experiences when I previously worked for the company. I am by no means dissing or slamming them. However, I'm going to just leave it at that. I try to be diplomatic when I talk about things. And I ain't trying to like shake anything up, and I'm not trying to cause any trouble. Comcast afforded me the life that I am living today. It provided me a great platform in order to take my next step on to what I'm currently doing in my life. So by no means am I saying anything negative, or I'm not trying to like clown on or speak ill of anyone or anything outside of course, the boy. This is the main focus of our aggro, as it were. He's already got me so fired up. I'm getting hoarse in the mouth. So again, without getting into too much detail, this guy was talking about how his business class internet and his residential internet was giving him a hard time. And then he started going on and on about ISPs and IP addresses and MAC addresses and DNS flushing and XYZ, whatever. I could be making up these terms, or that these terms are actual legitimate things that we use in our day-to-day processes and troubleshooting stuff when it came to field technician work back when I used to work for them. Past tense. Everything that he was saying was absolute bullshit. And the last video that I happened to do, the same day that he did his live stream. See, this guy live streams 6 days out the week. And when he does it, he expects a certain amount of support. And if not, he will let you know about it. I'm just being honest and transparent here, to coin a phrase. And I was, speaking of, coining a phrase in the detractor community. People are investing in different types of coins for what different types of things are going on in the boy's life, because that is reality television to us right now. This is modern day reality television, and it's a parasocial relationship. And now I'm being absorbed into this, and I'm actually having fun doing it, because seeing everybody having their own interpretations and interactions with the community, like, you guys are really fucking cool. Seeing all of your comments popping up on the YouTube Studio app was like, I know that like people probably get all of that all the time, and it's like numb to them, but it's not to me. And in that moment, and in this moment right now, that's how I'm feeling, and that's what that kind of interaction and that stuff means to me, which is something that I wish the boy maybe had some more appreciation of. He spends a lot of his time shitting on his audience, shitting on people that are trying to look out for him, and I don't blame him. If I was him, I would hate everybody too, and I would be second guessing everyone. That paranoia would be there. I cannot fault him for that. However, what I'm thinking here is that if he only kept his mouth shut, if he just let the world around him happen, let him experience the world around him without him being like a thrashing like force around it, just take in the world around you and then phase in and out when appropriately. But he has to come in here, kick the door down, and just swing his... We're trying to be positive. We're not going to devolve into demeaning his appearance. His snort snacks swinging back and forth, knocking over all of the furniture. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Military breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, right? All right, I'm calm. I'm cool. Back to where we were. We lost the plot. I apologize. I said this wasn't going to be a long one, and we're going into tangents. So, to catch up on, I'm looping back. I feel just like the guy. He's having internet problems. He's calling out the company, as he does with everything. He says that Twitch is the problem. He says that YouTube is the problem. He says that all of these things that you are seeing, they check off boxes in a narcissistic personality. Apologies. I have a speech impediment because I am deaf in one ear. Real shit. So, yeah, the boy was going off about Comcast stuff that he didn't know about. So I felt the need, I felt the urge. I had to jump on in front of here and cut a little promo about him. And that ended up being like close to an hour-long epic. And for everybody that did sit down and watched or listened to the entire thing, thank you. You guys are great. You guys are legends, to coin a term. That being said, so he made a big to-do, as he always does, about this thing that could end his entire career as a 15-year content curator. And so he's going on and on and on and on about it. By the way, online, he can do it online. And I was giving my, I was giving my thoughts on it, because I felt like I had a little bit more of a nuanced approach to how to see all these things. Maybe even help him out with his problem. Because I feel like, and I read back what I was tweeting when I was talking about all the different ways his service can go wrong and the different ways he can kind of like troubleshoot it himself. Because, hey, look, sometimes if you talk to the right operator, if you get in touch with the right people, they will be able to figure out what the problem is. And that's one thing that I will put Comcast over for, okay? We are tasked, we are given Herculean tasks. And when we get things right, man, it does feel good. And it happens. It happens. We're giving them credit. We're giving credit where it's due. We give the boy credit where it's due. Where it's due, and only there. Because he'll turn around and just like make you regret giving him any kind of credit. But that's not the point. The point is, he made a big to-do about his internet being down. And then he had the ability to have a technician come out that day, but he decided not to because he had appointments for his haircut and whatever else he does. We can only prove the haircut appointment because he got a haircut. As to if it was good or not, that is open to interpretation. I'm going to go easy on the sound effects too, by the way. It may be obnoxious to some people. So he wastes a day that he could have had the tech come over to fix it. After saying that this is an extinction level event, he needs to be able to stream so he can make money to provide for his family, etc., etc., etc. So he waits a day. He declined to have a tech come out literally that day. Had him come out till the next day, and he makes this grand announcement that everything is kosher, everything is copacetic, everything is Gucci. And he has a full announcement or whatever he wants to do, a declaration on his Level 1 podcast, which, by the way, is actually good promotion. I'll give him credit on that. We all tuned in. I tuned in. I was watching Chill Murray's restream, so big ups, Chill. Thank you for your service. I don't know how any of y'all do it, man. I can't sit through pure, uncut fill. That is a fate worse than death. I can't do that shit. So all of you guys and gals that do it, oh, jeez, man. I can't. Absorbing it through you guys, through Duty Streams clips on Twitter, through Poems Future, all of y'all. Dash, Fire. Come on now. So anyway, after all of this, he finally gets it fixed. And then what happens? The next day, the thing that he would say that it would shut the door on this entire epic, this overarching arc of a storyline, this near end of the world, extinction level event, Avengers Assemble type shit. Well, we're going to find out. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to bury the lead, man. But, in typical Phil fashion, all of this stuff gets built up to a fever pitch, right? And then it just, like everything else around him, putters out and whimpers along and then sputters out and then limps away. We never get to complete, you know? So I'll let you guys and gals, be the judges of that. So let's go ahead and just jump on in here. Wasting enough of y'all's time, but thank you again. They say nothing is more precious than a person's time, and I appreciate you spending it with me. So this is all thanks to Raw Phil. So big ups to Raw Phil. Look at that face. We're not doing this, no. We're being nice. And we're also skipping this. Who is this for? This song, this looks like a kid's show entrance. Like an intro. I can make a better intro.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show.
In my sleep.
Hello. It is Saturday, the 28th of October, 2023.
It still is, by the way,
DSP.
as of this recording.
Welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you're enjoying this.
We're not talking about physical appearances, right?
Season, I know I am. And today, hopefully, things will be semi back to normal, schedule-wise and the like. In fact, today I have a big schedule update for everyone so you know what to expect in the next week. I've got updates on everything. We'll talk a little bit about, what happened yesterday with the appointment with the tech that came out.
Appointment. Stewie ass.
Here, we'll talk about Alan Wake 2, which is really what I want to talk about today. If you want to talk about games that dramatically improve with the sequel, I think 13 years was a good enough time for them to figure out what to do with Alan Wake, because the sequel is really good right now, and I am very much excited for today's streams because of the level of fun right? And excitement and just good old times that we had with this game yesterday.
Gross.
So, an awesome day ahead, and of course an awesome week, because not only will we be playing Alan Wake a lot, they're going to have more Spider-Man, we're going to have more Mario. We got a Halloween marathon coming up on Tuesday. Great stuff on the way, right?
Gross.
So, welcome everyone to today's podcast. What's funny is, today I actually had a song playing, and people freaked out about it. Oh, it's a new song. A new song. What happened was today on the pre-stream
This
music,
isn't important.
The 13-year-old song that was just a lot of people don't remember, band style, didn't have live streams and stuff like that. So I would put a lot of effort into the reviews and things like that, editing them and having music. All kinds. I had that and played it again a couple years ago when Alan Wake remastered.
God, I'm so sorry, guys. This guy's fucking boring.
I actually put that into the rotation for like a week or two when I was playing that game. But it's not pertinent all the time. It's pertinent for this season.
Pertinent.
So welcome to the show, everybody. And I'm excited to talk about everything going on this week. I really am. It's going to be a good week. Welcome back, hopefully, to some normalcy. Although, we're going to talk about this in a second. Without going into massive detail, because I'm going to be honest. I'm the kind of guy that likes to move on. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to dwell on negativity and annoyances.
Give it to me!
Last few days, we've had a lot of negativity and annoyances. I even told you guys yesterday that I was really stressed out.
I am a step closer to having the guy I'll be damned. This guy is making me zone out because I don't know where to start.
And I just wanted things to kind of get back to normal. And rather than me sitting here and talking about the topic of my internet screwed up for another hour, I mean, I've already talked about this, 2.5 hours on Wednesday night. Had a special video on my day off.
Spider Dijon. What's wrong with you, man?
They talked about it again yesterday. It's like, do we talk about it enough? I think we did.
If it was something that he could provably say, point and go, they are at fault. It is their fault. They are the reason why. If it was the case, he would be singing from the rooftops.
So I just want to kind of move on from it, and we will.
He wants to move on from it because it was something simple. It was something that somebody has probably told him already to do. And I have thoughts as soon as we absorb more of this information. I don't want to make declarations yet.
But I know some people just want to know, well, what happened when the tech showed up and stuff like that. So I'll briefly talk about that on today's show.
Gross.
And then we will get into, the schedule and what I think about Alan Wake 2 and stuff like that. And go from there. So there you have it. Are you excited? I hope so. All right. So, where to begin? Well,
begin at the internet
as you
stuff.
guys know,
it was
with these issues with the internet, it's been annoyingly ongoing and just, a pain in the ass. So, yesterday, let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, let's just get it out the way. Finally, let's get to the reason we're all here. If you had any sense of, I don't know, promotional... I was giving him credit. Hold on, we'll stop there. He waited until today's podcast to let us know what was going on with his internet. If anybody had any type of promotional bone in their body, they would want to do that too. I can't be mad at him for that. But now he's going on about how he doesn't want to talk about it. So, I'll put my conspiracy theory cap on here. This is all my own opinion based off of what I've seen, and I am malleable. I am willing to change my opinion if better information comes along. But it sounds to me like this guy was just clowned by Comcast over something that was very simple that he could have done by himself literally the moment it happened. And it was something that he said that he refused to do. And that makes me think that that is the reason. And that thing that he refused to do was reset the modem.
Tech and I worked on this, and it went literally exactly as I had thought.
Of course it did.
The tech showed up based on, the information I had given the customer service rep I had spoken with. They had like half information. They really didn't know what they were here for, besides my internet was down. They didn't really understand what it could have been. They had absolutely no idea that I had 2 account lines. They thought...
Yeah, true. This is true. There are 2 different types of work orders. You can get 2 different types of work orders. One could be a residential, and it'll tell you the residential address and all of the equipment and everything that you need to know in order to do your job. Same thing goes with the business class internet customers. If you got the business class internet customers, you generally get a business class technician. There used to be a separation, but now, at least in the times that I was on my way out the door, they were blending them back into residential, which, by the way, some people were very upset about because they went to business class so that they can get away from residential. But that's all just from my own opinion and from my own experience, and does not accurately represent this or any other Xfinity. We're talking about in hypotheticals in Minecraft. So he's talking about they didn't know what they were talking about, and this is him getting that, like, setting up this tech for failure. Hey, this guy, he didn't know what he was talking about. It was him and me that put our heads together and figured this out, and I showed him how to prime. I told him how to compress a fitting, and fuck out of here. Come on.
They were only here for one.
Let's keep moving.
You know what I mean? Like, everything I knew just proceeded, because this is...
Yes! So the tech showed up. Phil said everything that the tech needed to hear, and the tech was like, damn, bro, here's the meter. You fucking hook it up to the line.
The problem with Comcast,
you tell me what the signal looks like.
Tell
me what a DB is. Tell me what an upstream transmit is.
Systems are set up very poorly, and they don't have people doing the line level customer support to have any level of knowledge or any kind of functionality to do anything to really help a customer.
I kind of halfway agree with him on this. It is not at the fault of the person that is employed by the company that we're talking about. A lot of times it's the automation or the system that we have to go in order to do the said thing. We just can't wave a magic wand and make X, Y, and Z happen, no matter what you think we can do or we are allowed to do or what was done for you before. There are now fail-safes and protocols and procedures and hoops that you have to jump through in order to get anything done. Anything. You have to update things consistently every time you go out to a house. You need to make sure that everything's up to code every time you go out to a house, even if it's just for a simple remote swap.
Just info takers, and then they read checklists, and then they push you off to someone else who will eventually help you. So I'm not surprised the guy comes into the house with zero knowledge of what is really going on or how this is, how to do anything. So anyway, to make a long story short, because I can sit here and tell you about every single step of the process and everything we tested, but after over an hour of testing various different things and saying, what's this, what's that, what's this, let's test this, let's test that, let's test this, let's test that, we basically couldn't get...
So... he's generalizing this whole back and forth troubleshooting process, which leads me to believe that the troubleshooting process involved the technician asking him the questions. Okay, so what were you doing? When this happened? Where are all of your connections at? Where's your modem at? And just figuring out what the who, when, what, where's, and whys. This is now the moment where the tech can truly figure out what needs to be done in order to fix their problem, because it could be a litany of things, from those two sitting in that office to the front lawn to the lawns down the way to the underground or utility pole that it is attached to, from that utility pole all the way back over to where everything goes in and beyond. Satellites, firmware, cable, grounding. It is essentially one big wire that we eventually braid down and whittle down into little wires that go into your modems and into your cable boxes, which, by the way, most of them are wireless now. So it's literally one line going to your modem. That's what most people have now. They've cut the cord. They don't watch TV. They watch guys like this and people like me shitting on him.
Excuse me. we couldn't just find like one set solution or cause.
The fact that he's being so generalized and like basic about there's no details. Oh, this and that, back and forth, diddy daddy. Like, if it was something that benefited him, he would go into a thick, rich, robust backstory. He will set the stage. He will paint the picture. He'll set the lighting up, everything. He'll move all the chairs around him. So he would then proceed. When he this and that and generalizes, this is what I'm thinking.
So here's the deal.
I was a former cable tech and a graphic designer. I'm not a psychiatrist in any way.
Moving forward, I know how to fix this issue if it happens again.
So, got him. I love. Duty says this on his channel all the time. Shout outs to Duty. He'll say, if you want to catch a liar in a lie, just let him sit back and let him talk. Let him keep talking. Less is more, and this guy cannot help himself but to gleam a nugget of truth, which is the only favorable thing that he does a lot of mental gymnastics to get to this point where, okay, so this point, I could cherry pick this point out and then cast an entire universe around this single point. Forget all this other stuff. This is all in the periphery, like he likes to say. Don't look at any of that. Look at this part. And then he expounds upon that. And that is the universe that he can operate in, where he didn't do anything wrong. He did everything right.
And the good news is it's a simple fix. This is not some giant thing that's going to take me hours to fix or anything like that. The only thing is, since we really don't know actually the cause of what messed up everything to begin with, the root cause.
It was him. You are the reason. The problem is sitting the problem is sitting between the keyboard and the seat.
You can't say, oh, it'll never happen again. In fact, I would almost guarantee it'll happen again.
I'll guarantee you it'll happen again. What tech would tell a customer that? I guarantee you our service will fuck up again. Now he's casting this tech like, I'm on your side, bro. Fuck Comcast. Respectfully.
The good thing is now I know how to handle it if it happens.
This is where I zeroed in. This is where I take the nugget of truth. My nugget of truth. I pick that, I pluck that out, and then I build my own little world around it. And you're welcome to orbit it if you want to. You're welcome to land and take in the sights and the sounds. And you're free to leave if it doesn't sustain you. Anyway, tech came in, restarted the cable modem. Or unplugged the cable modem so he can take readings from the line to... He has to disconnect the line no matter what. He has to power cycle the device no matter what. No matter what. We will sit in front of a cable modem and wait until it locks in, and it may take 15, 30. I've seen arcs where Comcast told us literally, you're going to be sitting in front of these devices for literally 45. Look, I'm not even going to give a number, a very long time. A considerable amount of time for us to sit around and babysit the cable modem. Let's continue.
You see, so once again, this is exactly what I told you guys I was afraid of.
Yep, he was right the whole time.
But the good news is the fix is...
He's also shaking, by the way. He shakes so much. He's shaking. Look at him shaking. I don't know if it's... I'm not an expert in any of this. This is just my observation. This is just my opinion. He shakes so much. I know I fidget a lot, and I'm trying to work on that. And in fact, I find the poise to be something that helps me be more disciplined. Because this guy is so undisciplined when he's on camera. And I think it's have to do that he's always on camera. So, he's grown accustomed to it, which means he can, slouch and... sway and all of this. I don't know what that's for. It seems like nervous energy to me that he could be spent reading the chat. I'm sure he's stressed out. Everybody's clowning him and dogging on him, and he thinks everybody's a sock account. I get it. But, dude, all that shaking. It's interesting.
It's easy. It's,
Watch
you know what I
shake.
mean? Like, it would have been one thing if we couldn't figure out what it was, and it was a big elaborate thing to fix it. No, that's actually not the case. It's very easy to fix, and I can do it myself, literally sitting here. I can do it. It's not a big deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So, in the last video, we were talking about what the potential problem could be. And up until that point, the technician was not there. We didn't know what the problem was. This is why we're talking about this right now. All the different ways that the system can go wrong, and quite possibly the easiest and cheapest solution for this problem was to unplug the cable modem and plug it back in. 1,000% based off of what he has said, based off of all the possible outcomes, and based off the fact that he barely wants to talk about this. It is, yes, the one thing that everybody told him to do, but he straight up refused to do. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens and everybody in between, the reason Darkside Phil had a tech come out, and the reason that, and the way that the tech closed out the call, reset the device, customer education, customer equipment.
You see? So because of that, I'm feeling a little better about it. Yeah, I was actually feeling kind of down yesterday.
I'm feeling like if the technician came out there and closed out the work order and charged him and closed it out with the... When you close out a call, you have the option, you have a drop-down menu, and you can say what you did. It also includes like things that will kind of explain why you were there for so long or for such a short amount of time. You can see essentially like a history of all of the different reasons why technicians were out and what they did. It's a good way to take stock of what was done there and make sure that everything is up to date. So if the technician went out there, power cycled the device, everything started working, told him, okay, just next time do this. And then maybe hung out in his van for a little bit and organized all of his tools, or took a look at the rest of his route, or reached out to other technicians to see if they're doing good on their routes. When Phil does this and takes a technician, okay, so you're talking about a 4-hour to a 2-hour window. A technician is assigned that call, and then under the assumption that it's going to be an easy call or a difficult call or what needs to be done at that call will dictate how many calls you get in that time frame. Think about it as like an RPG where you're only allowed to hold on to a certain amount of spells based off of, or like Call of Duty when you have all of your attachments connected, essentially, or like the difficulty of a level. Anyway, I'm trailing off. So if the technician just came out there, reset the modem, told him, hey, just don't do it again, and then closed out the work order as customer education, he's charged. If it's customer equipment, he is charged. They could just say they canceled at the door, which is an easy way for them to just not have anything to do with this account. Because once you have your closed out call at that address, you're liable for that call for the next 30 to 60 days. And would you want to have somebody, a customer that was so narrow focused and narrow minded to not want to do the one thing that could have fixed the problem without having to bring out a technician to tell him how to do it and waste the time frame that the technician was given? It is like, this is why your technician is late, because a lot of people do this.
I was like, man, what happens if we can't figure it out or whatever? But the reality is, it's not a big deal to fix if it happens again, and that's always a good thing, okay? But ideally, you would like to have a foolproof fix in place, and, you don't. That's life, I guess, right? Nothing is foolproof in life, correct? So...
Life, am I right, guys? Jeez, who would have thought?
I guess we'll see what happens. If we have issues again, what can you do? I deal with...
What can you do? Maybe give the modem a power cycle.
It, and then I try to get stuff working again and we move on, but it shouldn't be something that has me down for extended periods of time. Like, seriously, that was the problem, is for 2.5 days there, everything was, well, about 2 days, I would say.
He had to jump to the largest amount of time, and then he dialed it back. He was like, nah, that's too absurd. 2.5 days. It's barely 2 days, bro. You may have limped over the finish line of 2 hours, but you were still streaming it. Nothing changed. You just didn't play the game. You didn't have the problem was with your laptop, right? Everything else was working.
Because it was about afternoon to afternoon, Wednesday to Friday, right? For about 2 days, you know, I didn't have my internet working downstairs at all. It wouldn't work.
His residential.
And up here, it was like half capacity, barely working.
Still, that description leads me to believe that their line was filtered out. And if they have 2 lines that were ran to their house, there's a very real, chance that the residential line was trapped with an ingress filter, a filter that kills the upstream, which makes the internet slow, and you can go out, you can't go in. But this dude was streaming, dude, on his upstairs shit.
And that's not, you know, number one, I'm a customer. I'm a paying customer. My stuff should be working. And number two, I got a business to run, right?
Dark Side Karen strikes again. I'm not doing this again. I
got content to put out for you guys. So,
gross.
So yeah, we'll see and hope for the best and fingers crossed and everything. But like I said, it's actually not the end of the world.
It was the end of the world when, for the past 2 days, you said you didn't know what you were going to do. Your entire life was ripped from you. Torn.
If it happens again, I know what to do to fix it.
Power cycle.
I just hope it's not a ginormous recurring problem. But I guess we have to see what happens moving forward, right? So.
Okay, so when he goes when he kind of looks at the camera and kind of nods and know what I mean? That's him trying to put his spell on you, man.
Okay,
we're not doing
anyway.
This. No.
So there you have it. It's that simple.
It's my first
I really don't
impulse,
want to say much else about it because there's nothing else to really say. It's just a waste of time. I don't want to.
It's a waste of time because it showed him that he done goofed.
Waste time on negativity. I want to move forward positively with all the
It's negative because it was negative to him.
Good news stuff that's going on right now, and I think that's what we should really focus on today. Okay? So, good stuff, and welcome. And I hope that you are ready for good stuff today. Because, man, are we now into the fall gaming season. Are we into the awesomeness of new releases. And, of course, Halloween weekend as well. That's what I'm really excited for. It's Halloween weekend, and we get to play a
let's
stellar
pivot
horror
away
game.
from
This
me
is really cool
up.
that this is all timed this way, you know? So, let's talk. Yesterday, I played Alan Wake 2.
All right, so that's it, guys. Look here, listen. I promised that it wasn't going to be a long one, but it ended up being a long one anyway. But I seriously just want to put all of y'all over. I was very much motivated to do a follow-up because of all of the kind words that you guys have sent out this way. So, man, big ups to all of y'all. Y'all are legends, to coin a term. And, man, stick around. We do a whole bunch of other stuff on this channel. I play Stepmania, which is like a Dance Dance Revolution clone. I've been rocking out to Spider-Man 2 and Cyberpunk 2077. And we got a bunch of chill people around. We got some wild boys, too. We always wilding out sometimes, but it's always a good time, and I love hanging out with all of y'all. Sometimes I lurk in the restreams and all of that. I let my voice be heard once or twice, but I'm not looking to exchange any backs and forths or anything like that. I'm chill, I'm casual, I'm so busy. All of this is just, you know, a bonus for me. This is my DLC. I get a lot of stuff done otherwise, and if you're actually interested in that kind of stuff, I do professional wrestling in my local promotion of MCW Pro Wrestling. Give that a Google search, man. The YouTube channel is full of my matches if you're interested in that kind of stuff. The guy, he collects sweaty JPEGs. I'm a sweaty JPEG in real life, so just trying to be like a bizarro version of the guy over here. I mean, I'm a licensed professional athlete. I barely get any views. This guy gets a couple hundred, but I mean, at the rate we're going, who knows? All right, I'm trailing off, so I want to thank everybody for watching this, and I don't know, stay tuned. See, we might have some more shit going on. So, till next time, guys. Peace.